Welcome back. Here we go with stage 2, and this is where you find out that when I say I'm not really a painter, I wasn't actually lying. Okay, so very liquid wet wash of cobalt blue applied on the sky. I'm only being careful around the roof line, and this is what I like about rough textured paper. Look, you can do this there you go. The brush is still a little wet, but you can still get these lovely stuff like this where the brush skips over the rough surface of the paper. And I always start with the sky because usually it's the biggest area of wash, and I want it to dry. What I don't want, right, so there you go, that's the sky, and it's these white areas, look, that are left, but that I love. By the same token, I don't want you to look at the sky, so that's just there as a backdrop. I'll put some green in here, perhaps, just as to help with aerial perspective and help with setting the scene. And now what I'm going to do is to start this. This is all accidents. It's worked for me in the past, so I'm going to try and recreate it now. And for the stonework, this is a wash of yellow ochre. Need to strengthen it a bit more and put some more water on. So this is yellow ochre, and I'm going around. I've decided what I'm going to do is to base all the colour features around this central doorway there. So we'll do this. I'm trying not to leave any hard edges. So I'll come up to the roof line. And I think what I'm going to do is to include this part of the wall as well, the front of the thing. And from here on it's a case of, and I will include some colour on this stepped back wall. And now you can see the wisdom of using a pen with waterproof ink, because if this was water soluble there'd be stuff all over the place, and it has happened, but you just embrace it. And now it's just a question of, let me get, I'm just going to put, this is nearly neat pigment, and I'm being very random, arbitrary in where I put this in, and I just want it to kind of blend in, find its own to make its own shapes. What you've got to try, if you're going to emulate this or have a go at this, try and avoid colouring in the shapes at this stage. That comes later on where you might want to highlight it a bit more. So that's all yellow ochre so far. The next colour, and I'm looking frantically for this colour. This is quinacridone gold. Sorry, I should have said that the paints I use are all from Daniel Smith watercolours. Just love them. The pigments are fantastic. So there you go. We'll have a bit of what I'm trying to do now is bring some interest and gradation and variation. So that's quinacridone gold. And now, harsh critics might go, yeah, but those colours aren't in the original reference photograph. And this is a bit of indigo blue. My answer to those critics say it's not an accurate representation. That isn't what I set out to do. What I want to do is to do my interpretation of it. And there are some other very well-known artists who actually put lots of reds and greens and colours that aren't in the original thing. It's called artistic interpretation. So let's grab some bit of indigo now. I think we need to get some darks in. I'm trying to be a bit more selective on here. I think we'll pick up another. This is quinacridone. Sorry, the first one was quinacridone deep gold. This is quinacridone gold. Virtually the same colour, but just not as yellowy. And whoops, didn't want that. What I should have done is to do the old. Let's have just a bit of flickery. Just stop it going into the sky, which if you catch it quick enough, you can blot out with good old tissue paper. And then now we've got to that stage, let's put some. The stage after this will be when this when all this is dried. I'll then get the pen and use my pen to go around some of these shapes that have happened. With the application of these random washes. I'm getting a finer brush now and some fairly neat indigo. Let's just, oh, a bit too neat actually, a bit too, this might bleed in, but we'll do it there even though there's no other colour. I'll do it up here, and there you go. The you'll see the white spaces between the pen lines will disappear, and I'm kind of flummoxed at the moment now because until this really dries, I don't really want to go anymore. So what I should do is pick up some of this green now, and we'll put, again, I'm not attempting to I'm not a horticultural or a botanical painter, any shape or form. I just want to give this, use this green to root the building in the field. I'm just going to be very careful there. We'll put some more here. This is a colour called green gold, but what I've done is to put a bit of lemon yellow in just to brighten it up. Then while that's, I'll get some of the darker green. This is a colour called undersea green from Daniel Smith, and we'll just drop some in there, because if you remember I said the light's coming from that direction, so it would be darker towards there. Back to that lemony one, because what I want to do is do something in this field here. We'll just get a bit more there, because otherwise you just have do you know what, I'll take it up to the skyline, why not? So that'll, there you go. And then because we've done it there, we'll do it on this side again. Not too bothered about it looking like a field, it just needs to, your brain will fill it in, hopefully, when you see the finished thing. There you go. And we'll have a bit more down there because the sun's on that side. Let me find another small brush, see if I can get some of that, some of this going out here. See, when it works, I think it's fantastic. This, I'm dropping in now with a tiny brush. Sorry, almost ashamed to show you that brush. This is really neat pigment that's in here. It just helps to, these white bits here, I'll lose those in the second stage of paint, sorry. And right, that we need to now let that dry. Is that dry? No, it's not. But I think, yeah, the sky's dried enough. So what I shall do is go back to the yellow ochre, really, really wet wash, and just quickly kill all this white up here. And then pick up some, this is indigo I'm just dropping in, just to give it some variation. Just tiny bits of, this is almost neat yellow ochre. I'm just pulling along and hoping that the colour will actually blend. And that's all I'm doing with that. Now, we want to attack these doors. And I think for the door, I'm going to use a bluey grey, and this is mixed with, let me try that one. Yeah, a lot more water in there because they want to be weathered, and an almost dry brush. Let's pull it, there you go. Yeah. Being a bit more careful. And this will be the same colour. And now, even though I've not put any stonework, any colour in this stonework, to me it would look odd if I left that door uncoloured. So let's put some of this in there as well. And see if I can be a bit arty now. Get some of this yellow ochre and just blob it down, see if we can try and get some kind of a warm weathered look going. There you go. Again, there's there's bits of white space happening there. And what I shall do in the final stage is to lose those with some more pen work. So for the moment, that's the painting. I don't think it's going. The only paint that's going to go on after this, and it needs to be completely dry, is the shadow paint. So we'll do that and a bit more pen work in part 3. Okay. See you when the paint's dried.